Hi, and welcome to this State of the Nation special report on the shooting in Tauranga. There's been some confusion on what happened at the end of the 14-hour standoff and how many shots were fired. Witnesses state that many gunshots were heard and reported bullets hitting neighbouring properties, while the official statement from the police is that 2 distraction devices and a single shot was fired. Using the videos that were captured by neighbours as the police action took place, I'll show you how I think the assault went down. The 2 videos were shot from neighbouring properties here and here. The standoff ended just after 3 p.m. on Sunday 24th of November 2019, after the offender had been holding 2 children hostage since around midnight, with a 3rd child having been removed by police before the standoff ended. The house, located on a back section of Oriana Crescent in Tauranga, has 2 levels. The kitchen and lounge are situated at the front of the house, and we'll assume the stairs are centrally located, perhaps leading directly from the lounge, given the officers evacuating the children exited the front door rather than the side door of the house. The 2nd level of the house has 2 of the 3 bedrooms, probably laid out something like this. And given the pitch of the roof, it's a lot smaller than the bottom floor. From the presence of a barricaded window in the front bedroom, it looks like the offender was holed up in here. Police have set up an entry ladder to the front bedroom window and another entry ladder at the rear in order to access that 2nd bedroom. The armed offenders squad looks to be using 2 4-man entry teams. We can see the rear entry team on this ladder breaking the window to gain entry in one of the videos. There are 3 officers on the ladder and the 4th on the ground, the muzzle of his AR-15 just visible as he covers the window in case the offender moves to repel the entry team. There's also the front entry team, probably also a 4-man team, which is already inside the house. We know this because one of the videos shows there are no officers outside the front as the flashbang goes off. We'll assume they're ready to climb the stairs to meet up with the team coming in the back window. To aid in entering a room safely, the teams use flashbangs, non-lethal grenades that create loud bangs and blinding flashes of light. The goal is to stop anyone in the room being able to fight back, and in this case, what police refer to as a distraction device. Often flashbangs have a single bang and flash, but it looks like the police are using 9 bangers. That's a single grenade with what amounts to 9 big firecrackers inside it, so it makes 9 bangs at roughly half-second intervals. In the video, we can hear 2 sequences of 9 explosions, so that looks very much like these flashbangs. Now it's time for the actual assault to take place. It looks like the rear entry team is supposed to make the first move by throwing a flashbang in through the window, followed quickly by entering that same window. This would allow the team to clear that 2nd bedroom and meet up with the first team at the top of the stairs. Doing this ensures that the offender has no option to move from room to room upstairs and increases the chances of a successful assault. But there's a problem. It appears as though the first flashbang deployment fails and the grenade falls to the ground outside the house. You can see in these frames from one of the videos the grenade going off on the ground and lighting up the underside of the nearby tree. As a result, it looks like the rear entry team is delayed from entering until after the action has finished. Meanwhile, the front entry team hears the first flashbang and starts to move up the stairs. They should be meeting up with the rear entry team at the top, but they are still stuck outside on the ladder. What happens next is based on the sound from one of the videos, but it appears to be a single gunshot followed by another 9-banger flashbang. The shorter, sharper peak on the first sound seems more in line with the supersonic crack of the bullet from a suppressed AR-15, with the percussion of the flashbangs being a slower, more reverberating sound wave that you can see here. The plan was probably to deploy a flashbang in the room, followed by the lead officer with a rifle. If that was the case, we would hear the 9 bangs followed by 1 gunshot, the opposite of what we did here. What may have actually happened is that just as the flashbang was being thrown, the offender confronted the officers and was shot. Because there is a fuse delay of around 1.5 seconds, we hear the flashbang going off after the bullet has been fired. At this point, the rear entry team manages to gain entry through that back window. Meanwhile, officers from the front team are evacuating the 2 children from the room. We can see them exiting the house in one of the video clips. Okay, so that's it. What we do have does tend to agree with the 2 flashbangs and 1 bullet being used. There's also probably enough to suggest that there were a few failings during the room entry. One could perhaps even speculate that if a coordinated assault had been achieved, and this is very, very dependent on the layout of the rooms, the confrontation may have been at a greater distance, reducing the chance of lethal force being required. There are quite a few assumptions on all this, so don't take any of it as gospel.